Hello, viewers, and welcome to Serenity Gist. Have you found yourself in that situation where you kept saying, I will do it later, I will do it later, I will do it later, and later never comes? This is us here again today, and today we are going to be discussing a topic that is already pricking your heart: laziness and procrastination. Something you are guilty of, I'm guilty of, and I believe we all here are guilty of the same offense. And then to discuss this topic with me in the studio is, by my left,
Hello, viewers. My name is Goodness Shiso. It's nice having you here.
thank you, goodness, you're welcome. And then by my father's right, Mr. Gospel, the boss of the house.
Oh, hi. Thanks for the audience.
You're welcome, Sir Gospel. And then closest to me is my rival, Miss Gloria. Miss
I
Gloria.
don't really know what we are arguing about. But hello, audience. Welcome to Serenity Gist.
Okay, thank you, dear friends. Thank you, our guests. Stay tuned as we are going to unpack this session with you this moment. Why do people procrastinate? Like, what's really going on? Why do you feel more comfortable saying I will do it later other than getting on with it? And then, how are we really going to get out of this problem, this cankerworm that is eating deep into our bone marrow? But before we go into that, let us really know what laziness and procrastination is all about. So, Sir Gospel, what do you really think procrastination is?
Well, procrastination is kind of it's usually occur out of fear. Pushing things, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next time. Like people feeling lazy over something. When you're talking about procrastination, is out of fear. Maybe they are seeing things is too ambiguous. It's I can't do this. Then feeling less of themselves. Maybe tomorrow or next. That's what I think that procrastination could come up with.
Wow, okay. Thank you very much for that one. So, Miss Gloria, do you think that laziness and procrastination, they are one and the same thing, or are they different?
Well, I think laziness and procrastination are two different things. They are not the same. Like Mr. Gospel said, procrastination is postponing something, an event or something you want to do, postponing it for later, even when you know it is important. While laziness is simply lack of determination to do that particular thing. That is what I feel.
Okay, I think I'm getting confused.
Well,
Procrastination is moving it to a later, and then laziness is lack of determination. So what's your view on that?
Procrastination is lack of. Okay, laziness is lack of motivation to do a particular thing. But in procrastination is prolonging something even when you know that that thing is important. You understand? I have an event. Okay, let's say exams are coming up. You'll be like, when school resumes, it's just immediately school resume for students though. Immediately school resume, that's when you start preparing for examination. But students will be like, let me just leave this thing. Let's leave it towards when exams are
Maybe 2
timetable
weeks
is
to exam.
thank you. When timetable is out, that's when they not feel to read. So that's where procrastination comes in. Leave it for later, even though you know that reading now will really help you out in the nearest future. You understand?
Yeah.
Why laziness is more of being the lack of motivation to even do something.
Okay.
let me throw more into that. Looking at it, laziness seems to be like the junior brother, while procrastination is the senior brother. Because one, when you feel lazy about something, you must postpone it. For instance, even at home, when you have a clothes to wash and you are feeling so lazy, say later in the evening. When you get to that evening, nah, I'm sick. Let's leave it tomorrow. Is anything happen to when you have exam, like the illustration she gave?
Okay.
If you have exam, let me leave it later in the evening. I'll read it, and that is laziness for you. You are feeling lazy over that thing. That's why you postponed it. And when you get to that evening, you see the main laziness will come, sleep will start disturbing you. You say you open your book, chapter 1, and when you look at it, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, you feel like it's too ambiguous, it's too big for you. That's why you now postponed it. That is where that procrastination come in now.
Okay.
You start pushing it forward before you know it, you get to that date of your exam.
So what you're trying to say now is that procrastination is as a result of accumulated laziness.
Yes, they
You
work in
understand?
hand in hand.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but then if you say that procrastination is as a result of accumulated laziness, so now what actually are you saying that laziness is the cause of procrastination? Or so can you tell me what are the causes of procrastination?
Okay, that is like I hint earlier. The causes of it is seeing things impossible, looking at things that this is not possible. Like I always tell myself that I see everything possible to me, even things that people seems like is not possible. There are people that are doing it that are getting it right. For instance, even in the university, even in if there are people that have first class in the university, but some people in the class don't see it as something that is possible because they don't really give out that time. They don't have that interest. Because if you have interest and determination over something, I don't think there will be any procrastination in anything you are doing. Because you'll be seeing it that that time you are giving it, that lazy time, what I mean by lazy time, that long period of time you are doing to achieve that thing is really not necessary. You need to do it at that moment and go off it and move ahead to the next thing. So everything is achievable. So that laziness is I see it as a culture you build for yourself. If you conquer that laziness, that fear, because one of the scholars said that failure is not just a failure, it's an access to work hard. When you fail, you keep working hard. But some people, when they fail, they feel demoralized that they can't go ahead, that this is too much, this is stress, and I don't need stress. And before you know it, they keep procrastinating. And by the time you know it, they have seen themselves as a failure totally, and they won't be determined to achieve that thing they have in mind.
Wow, that's very powerful. So now, if like you said that fear is one of the causes of procrastination, that is you are not too sure of if you are going to get it right or you are going to get it wrong, but then I believe that the fear of failure is actually worse than failing itself. You understand? Because when you fear to fail, it keeps you at the level that you can never go beyond that level you are in.
Sure.
You understand? So then I think that's a very valid point. So coming to you, Gloria, do you think there are other causes of procrastination or reasons why people procrastinate?
Okay, aside from the one Mr. Gospel, I also think lack of time management is also a reason for procrastination. If you don't manage your time properly, like let's say now, okay, coming to work this morning now, you know, okay, your work starts by 9 a.m. and you have things to do. Maybe you're going to work by 9 a.m. and you're coming back by 7 p.m. in the night, and you have things to do. You're supposed to wake up by 6 a.m. to do those things. But it's, since I'm going to work, let me wake up by 8. And by the time you wake up by 8, you brush and you do this, you find out that you're
Are
even
you guilty of
tired.
this? Are you guilty of
I'm not
this?
just guilty. I'm not going to tell lies. I'm a bit guilty of it. I won't tell lies. So you find out that, oh, maybe I wanted to do a little washing in the morning,
Yeah.
and I would just be like, it's almost 9. Let me leave this washing when I come back. And you know that when you come back in night, it's not possible. It will not be for tomorrow.
Sure.
And tomorrow again, when you wake up in the morning again, you'll be like, it's still too early now. Since I'm going to work in the afternoon, let me just relax a bit. And time waits for no one, like they say. And when you don't manage your time properly, it leads to procrastination.
Time and money.
Exactly. So
Wow.
that's just it.
Wow. Thank you so much for that wonderful one. And then, Miss Chisholm.
Well, excuse me. When you're saying that one of the things that causes procrastination, right? You talk about trying to laziness first. When you say I push it for later, and then those tasks pile up. You understand? So you now find it difficult to even start one and finish the other at the same time. Constantly trying to achieve all, even when it's not possible at the particular time. And there is this other thing, distractions too. When you are easily distracted, maybe okay, yeah, like you're watching TV, the thing is very interesting. I'd be like, okay, okay, like she was saying earlier, I'm gonna push it for later. I'm gonna push it for later. Everybody is actually guilty of that. I personally, I am. So you say you push it for later. Time, wait for nobody, like you said earlier. So is on a general note. Um, mismanagement of time, distractions, and the rest of them, which I can't even record to mention.
Interesting. So, from what we've said so far, we've been able to bring it together that laziness, lack of time management, and then fear. I think this fear is actually an aspect of it that affects a good number of persons where you don't know. That is, we call it the fear of the unknown. You don't know what is going to happen next, and instead of you actually moving the first feet forward, you are holding yourself back, waiting to maybe doubting yourself. Can this work? Will it not work? And stuff like that. And then at the end of the day, you keep pushing it. You keep holding yourself back and all of those things. And if you never make that step, you're never going to achieve anything. So, can you? I want us to give me. Has there been a situation or scenario where you this happened? Can you share an experience with us where you procrastinated or something like that? Or are you saying you've never done
No,
that?
I can never say that. I'm definitely guilty about that. So even when we're in school, you say exam, even I have phobia for exams, to be sincere.
Okay.
So at that aside, you will see in a situation, okay, normally the one that happens almost every Sunday, um, it's time to go to church. My daddy will tell you, okay, prepare your things. This is Saturday. I don't want to do this one. If you're not in my car by so time, I'm gonna leave you. And when I don't see you in church, you have me to contend with. Now my clothes will be rumpled. My clothes will be rumpled for tomorrow's service, and I will leave it. I'll be like, okay, yeah, there will definitely be light tomorrow to
Okay.
iron the clothes. And you see, it's Nepa
will
surprise
show
me.
you.
So I wore a rumpled clothes to church on Sunday, and then the situation whereby even coming to work, you'd be like, this rain, oh, this rain, this rain, this rain. You see rain, it's raining. You'd be like, okay, this rain, it seems like this rain.
Open confession.
It seems like this rain is gonna stay for an hour. Before you know it, this rain just you're like and you have slept over.
Exactly.
So you see, in those situations, I can never say that I have ever not been a guilty person in the area of procrastination. But you know one thing, even when I tried to battle this procrastination of a thing, there was a book I was reading then. The man said, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do. So I had to draft timetable for myself, and I stay, following it up. To be sincere.
Sorry, don't be offended.
Yes.
Please, we're going to come back to that. Don't be offended. Don't be offended. Please, August, so can you share a life experience on so many times you procrastinated? You're already looking guilty.
Well, like you said, we are all guilty of it. Like I said, laziness is the primary source of that procrastination.
Procrastination.
That's the primary source because most times you wake up, you see this phone, more especially when you get addicted to your phone. That
That's right.
when you'll be like, I want to read, more especially want to do something on your phone. Wahala. Can't see message go enter. Or you want to read Bible in your phone. Now that time way message, you go enter, you're gonna see so many things. So even if you want to cook, you want to wash, before you know it, this phone, me have been in fact I can't deny that it's inevitable. So everybody is guilty of such. So most times I will want to have an important thing I want to do. Maybe I want to cook. I'll just be inside, be pressing my phone, even not even knowing that I've already put on the lights, the fire is on and the pots and everything. Before you know it, I go to hear passive smell. Something where they burn for kitchen. The smell I go, even at that self, I'm still okay. I have clothes I will watch. I will be pressing my phone, I will wash it. Before you know it, another message will enter. Before you know it, night don't come. And that clothes I'll just abandon it.
Not achieve anything for
I
that.
won't achieve it.
I think the truth is, sorry for cutting it short, but right now we are going to take a very short break, and then when we come back, we will now be able to discuss how we can come over or how we can overcome this issue of laziness and procrastination. Please stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. See you soon. Welcome back from that short break. I believe you're still sitting tight there with your tea or coffee as we proceed. we've been able to talk about laziness, procrastination, the causes, and right now, I would want to go into some of the consequences that comes with you procrastinating. Yes, of course, we know that for every cause, there is always an effect. So when you procrastinate, there should be a result of that procrastination. And that's what we're going to be talking about now. We are going to be personalizing it. Yes, of course, we are going to actually be personalizing it. And I would like to actually come to you, Miss Chisom. So, has there been a consequence as a result of your? Did you fail your exam back then in school because you procrastinated?
No,
And
no, no. I
or
forget about education now. Let's come to lifestyle, right? For the lengthy period, I think this year I made a very big procrastination. Everybody can very witness that one. So I said I'm gonna go to the gym. No, it's not funny. I said I'm gonna go to the gym. I went as far as possible as making inquiries.
okay,
I got that. I went to buy gym wears. I bought gym tools and everything. But since then to today, I'm not going to that place again. And now how it has affected me, like you're supposed to stay fit. You understand? Like you're supposed to at least now you should be burning fat and the rest of the I'm not big, but that's not the point. In exercise you have to just stay fit. That's the essence of exercise, right? So now the year has come to an end. I've not achieved anything,
wow,
which is terrible. Very,
that's
very terrible. Now, if you come office wise, you see that procrastination has made me to lose some things that I don't want to talk about. And then, in fact, all round, like I said, I can remember a day by like with all these things now going on. My dad would say, "Should I told you to do this thing? You'd not hear," and affect a lot of them all round, like all round. There are a lot of consequences that I can't even mention, like even those that I can remember and those that I cannot remember. So procrastination has really dealt with me solemnly.
I can
Yes.
in consonance to with what you're saying. I can remember when I was applying for one of these international scholarship
Yeah.
for my masters. Then this is an essay that is supposed to actually take you over 45 pages of what you are going to write and upload. You are supposed to take months into actually gathering your materials and stuff like that. I did, kept doing. Just a week to the expiration of the deadline for the application. I kept gathering things, and then before you know it, I got another call. Before you know it, I became overwhelmed. Like I had a lot of things on my table at the same time that I got confused on which one to attend to, which one to attend to. Before you know, and that was how I missed applying for that scholarship opportunity. And I think this issue of procrastination is really something that has affected one and two of us in one way or
And
another.
there is this anthem that we use whenever we say we will procrastinate. I will do it later. See that thing is a very big. In fact, when you are in church, when you pray, you say, "God, remove the spirit of I will do it later." That thing.
So, Sir Gospel, can you share with us
Strong.
maybe opportunities you've missed because you said you were going to do it later?
Well, I guess child is in my early stage in life. That was when I applied for NDA, Nigeria Defense Academy. Ah, when when I'm seeing myself going for that exam, and most times you see the exam, the first one I attempted to write the exam. They said is by 6, and I went there by just sharp 6, and I found out they have blocked the gate. And I was asking them, they said is some people come there early, as early as 5:04. The second one I came, I was like, nah, how I go take wake up that early morning? I purchased the phone again and I went. This at Holy Ghost College here. By 5, after 5 thereabouts, I went there. They locked the gate again. That one confused me. I said, wait, sir. They said that you must be there by 3 a.m.
Oh wow.
to wait for them to open the gate.
Wow.
As soon as they open the gate, people enter, they lock am, they won't open it again. And some people was even telling me that they were there since 4 o'clock. Ah, man. So that thing is that yes, some people told me that you must be early, very very early. But to me, I was like, when I wake up early, oh, but I'll just keep saying, let me sleep small. You see that early morning sleep, say make you
Let
sleep
me sleep
small.
small. Let me sleep.
Close your eyes before you go wake up. Na another thing. So if I wake up early like around 4, say let me sleep small, it's too early. Before you know it, you wake up around even 7 or 8. That thing have happened to me even at work. So that's why when I wake up, I don't even attempt going to bed again. I just even if not to sit down for floor, I will sit down for floor, dey press my phone until it's time
It's
for me to
time.
leave. Because most times I don't allow it to affect my work, because I always want to be at the front. Because most times I look at people, my stars. So when I come late, I won't know people that come late. So I must be there early before them until they come.
So thank you very much. So you're actually saying that it's not that you have overcome procrastination, but just that the position of authority is what is keeping you on your toes.
Yes, and it's really helping me. And it's really helping me because, like I said, it's a culture, it's a way of life. So when you build to overcome it, it will not become your lifestyle.
Okay.
And once it's your lifestyle, that means you've already defeated the challenge of
That is
procrastination.
only when it
So
comes to work.
Miss Gloria,
Aside from no, aside from work. But no, it's a gradual process because there are some other things too that is really affected, not just work. These
so
are
Miss
other things.
Gloria, can you give us one or two? I know you have the list. You have a piled up list.
A lot, like a lot. Okay, I can remember there was this time I wanted to get something. I needed something and I needed to buy that thing. So very important. So I saved up for it. I got to the market. I wanted to purchase that thing, and the price they were telling me was not more. The money with me was not actually up to. When I got there, and the man was like, "Okay, this is the amount." Okay, normally, rightfully, somebody have sense. What I was supposed to do was tell them, "Okay, let me deposit this one. Do you understand? Then I will come back and pay the balance." I was like, since the money is not complete, maybe next week I'll come and buy. And I went to use that money to buy something else. I just used a bit of it to buy something. I kept the remaining one
That you replace
that
it.
I will add up and come and buy. And what I needed that thing for was very, very important. Now that next week came,
The money
something
consists.
else took the money.
I swear.
Till today, I've not been able to purchase that thing.
And if you
And
go
it
to
has
markets like to wear,
and there's been a barrier in a lot of things I want to do because I did not get that thing. My mom was like, why didn't you just deposit the money? It must go na mother brain. Why did you just deposit the money? So a lot of instances, even when I have to go to work in the morning, I'll wake up in the morning. I'm supposed to be at work by 7:30. And when I'm working morning, and I wake up by 6. I'll look at the time. It's 6 o'clock. Let me go to
10
bed.
minutes.
Yes.
Okay, long.
10 minutes more. I'll go back to bed. I'll
After
close
8.
my eyes. I'll pick up my phone again. 6:15. I'll say no. What's 6:30? I wake up. And there was a day I did that thing and I actually woke up 10 minutes past 7. Wow. If you see speed, what they run from bed.
You don't take your bed. Okay, thank you so much. We've actually come thus far on talking about one or two consequences of laziness and procrastination. But right now, I want us to really go more practical. What is that one business that you've been wanting to start? I know there is a business you want to actually own, but you've kept
A lot.
holding yourself. I will start until now, nothing sure.
Okay. Okay, let me say this one. This one was actually earlier this year. Yeah. I wanted to own my own perfume brand. So I started. I went to the place whereby they sell those oils and everything, ingredients to make perfume. I made inquiries and everything. I even planned, I got my brand name, I got everything ready. Now, what was remaining for me was actually to go there and make purchase of the ingredients I needed and to start. I said, okay. Everything was done. I brought my jota, I jotted everything I needed for it, how to go about it, and how to do it. Now, what was remaining for me was, okay, the capital, which I budgeted that, okay, by the time I get my salary at the end of the month, with the ones I've saved, I'll actually combine it. And that month came, at the end of the month, I brought the money. I was like, the year is still early. Before the end of the year, I will be able to do it. Let me just quickly run the ones that are important first. I took one thing I went. And as I'm speaking to you now, up to this point,
You've not been able to do
I've not
anything.
been able to do it.
This goes a long way to say
I've
that
not been able to
this
do
is
it.
really a very big problem.
Yes.
Right now,
it is.
how are we going to actually get out of the pangs of procrastination? So, Mr. Chisom, what do you have to say on that?
Well, personally, it's self-discipline.
Yeah.
You know, that's the most important thing. And if you discipline yourself and you find out that okay, I've disciplined myself, but then you don't still know how to structure.
What do you mean by self-discipline? It's sounding vague. So, how do you discipline?
Do that thing. That's in. I have to do this thing
If
later.
you set something for yourself,
Just
make sure
do
you
it
stick
then.
to it.
Don't wait later, right? But then, like I said, in my own situation, personally, the story I wanted to share before you cut me short. What I did then was I was able to draft a timetable. It's still in my room till tomorrow. I drafted that timetable. I put this today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know, this from this so time you're at work. When you get back from work, this is what you're gonna do. You understand? And after that, this is what you're gonna do. But to be sincere, I'm gonna very, very sincere with you.
Well, are you able
There's-
to achieve
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying. You see, in as much as you put your mind, the only thing now that can help you is if you put your mind to a thing.
Yes.
But if you try it for a week and 2 weeks, you will fumble. I'm not gonna lie. You will just. But then the other thing is that God will always tell me, see, in as much as
You are saying that it is easier said than done.
Exactly.
it's easier said, but if you are determined, you can still do it.
Yes, yeah.
That's
So it's
just
not going to be easy.
It will not be easy.
But you
Like
can do
usually, see, it's easy. My daddy will always say this. It's easy to build a bad character, but then to pull it out again,
It's
it's
very,
gonna
very
be very
hard.
difficult.
Yeah.
You understand? So what I do is that timetable. If I look at it, I know that, like I said, even that timetable told me that this time you're gonna be exercising. At least even if you're not gonna go to the gym, you will be doing household exercise. That exercise, God in heaven knows, I never took that thing serious. I
Okay.
downloaded a lot of YouTube this thing, but I never took it. But what am I trying to say in essence? If you look at it, you will never do it, and you may not even be seeing results. But then as you continue, to be later like this is how I was, but now
Yeah.
there is a very big change.
So what you're
that's-
saying is that self-discipline is one of the ways
it's
to
very
go
paramount,
in curbing
very
procrastination.
important,
So,
very
Sadasco,
important.
what do you have to say?
Oh, like Miss Gloria said earlier, time management. You know, say, time waits for nobody, like you said. So your timing and what she said in terms of putting on timetable, that is planning yourself. All these things, determination. I always say that determination is the motto, is the drive. If you don't have, if you are not determined to achieve it, break those things that you are seeing as it's too big for me. How can I do this? How can I do that? Is fear. That fear comes in. Break it into elements, into components, small pieces. Then you see yourself achieving it small. These are the ways you can get rid of procrastination. So you get it small, be taking it small. For instance, if you are aiming like to own your brand or thereabout, what you need to do, you take a first step, which is saving up the money, and you saving up the money on your own hand. You can never complete because something must take it out. So what you need to do, once that money come, you divide it and push it out where you can't even if it's to borrow it to somebody, give it out so that when you need it, you take it. Because if you keep put it in your account, you must use it. Either you see subscription, you finish that money. Data airtime, you finish that money alone. So it's not really good to put it. Then secondly, that in terms of planning, then like I said, you break it into components where you can. The second step, you take the second step by, okay, let me get a shop or a particular machine. Just take it up upon yourself, even if not to eat. Take that money as it is, go and get it. Forget food, because I do it most times. Most times I'll just go take a loan of 300,000 and I pay. Be taking it from my salary every month. Even if na 90% of my salary, take it. Let me be starving so that I use that money and do get what I want because I'm determined to get that particular thing. And if I don't do it, I say make I take am 50,000, I go do am. Na lie, I won't achieve it. So you must take a bold step. That is why the bankers always tell you to invest. Investment they mean is, even if it's to take the whole of your life to invest in a land, tomorrow it will yield you a bigger something. Don't forget about today, but be looking at tomorrow. Tomorrow will be much bigger than that thing you are looking at. So don't look it at a very big thing. Break it
Okay.
into pieces and look
Okay.
at it small.
Okay. Thank you very much for that one. And then finally, Miss Gloria.
Okay, I think I'll like Mr. Gospel said, when you're determined, determination goes a long way. And sometimes breaking whatever you want to do, like setting realistic goals and setting deadlines for them. I think that is something I have learned, and actually by God's grace I'm keeping to it a bit. Setting deadlines, like from now to this particular point, this is what I want to get. No matter what happens, this is what I want to get, and you make sure you get there. Let it be not like, okay, from now to the end of this year I won't buy land, I won't build house. Something you know, okay, you currently you cannot do. That's not realistic. Something you know that, okay, with your stay or the position you are, you know you can actually afford or achieve something like this. Set realistic goals for yourself, things you know you can achieve at the end of that, and make set it. That deadline is very, very, very important. Like Chisom said earlier, that exercise something I even set myself for it. In the morning I wake up, I did it 1 week, and it was like I was lacking motivation to do it, because what I was doing before, someone was actually there to tell me, you have to wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, madam. Oh yeah, it's time for your exercise, and he will watch me and I will do it. But when nobody was there to actually tell me, okay, do this thing and do this thing, that motivation was no longer there. So is we should actually, and second, like after being determined, the motivation should be there for you to be able to go ahead with that thing. So I think that is what I feel.
Okay, thank you very much, our viewers. By a way of summary, I want to say, referencing the book Eat That Frog, it says in that book that when you have tasks before you, you should always start with the most difficult task. Because by the time you start with the easiest one, and then when you finish the easiest one, by the point you get to the hard one, you become weak. So when you start eating the frog, by frog, the most difficult task, eat that first, go for it first. So if you want to buy a shoe and if you want to buy a land, of course you should actually save up to buy a land first before you go into buying the shoe. So, and then it also goes further to talk about classifying your priorities. That we have class A needs, class B needs, class C needs, and then finally class D needs. So you have to always start with class A needs in order for you to overcome your level of procrastination. So I believe that this is something and a discussion that affects all of us. But then for us to come over it is not just about saying being self-disciplined. No, it's beyond just the mere word. It actually goes, do you have the ability to say, the four of us want to go on a hangout, and then I will be the one to say, no, I cannot go for the hangout. I have another thing to do. Do you have that voice to pull out from your cliques to do something different? So this is where the remedy to procrastination is going to start from. And we want to say a very big thank you for staying with us from the start to this point. Stay with us, and don't forget to follow our social media handles: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Serenity TV. Like, share, and comment on our videos. And stay tuned next time for other tropical issues around us as we keep giving you value for your time. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.